We are out here at Petco Park, San Diego with the Swagger Report 2017 opening day. I'm Monsignor Malarkey, and we are going to be asking a bunch of crazy Padre characters about what they think about this crazy, wacky 2017 season that they all think we're going to tank on.
Hello, Friar Blue SD with Randy Jones, the man.
How we doing?
How we doing today? How
Good.
do you feel about this season?
The one thing what I do know is that we got a lot of young kids, a lot of young talent. You've heard this again and again, but I think finally this organization has finally got the coaching staff and the philosophy, to hold some of this young talent accountable and get them ready for the big leagues. They're not ready right now, so a little helter-skelter, I think, this year and possibly next year. But like a lot of times, a lot of this failure these young kids are going to do is how you get better. That's how you're going to improve. So we got to go through the process, and that's what we're doing right now. But I think the future looks better than I've seen it look in 15 years.
This is 2017, the Swagger Report. We are with the king of swagger over here, Mr. Anthony Tony Gwynn Jr. How's it going, Anthony?
It's going well. How about yourself?
Well, I'm looking at this season and I'm thinking to myself, I kind of like this team. Now, it's not got a lot of big names, but it's got some guys that's got some juice.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you think.
I agree. I think and it's kind of weird to say this, but if you put wins and losses aside for now, you just look at the talent and what the possibility could be. This is as good as shape the Padres have been in talent-wise, homegrown talent-wise, and as long as I can remember.
Growth potential, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Speaking of homegrown, now you grew up here in San Diego,
Yep.
Poway High School, you're a Titan.
Yes, I was.
Now, we were just talking about this. We always knew you as Anthony, but when the Padres got a hold of you, they rebranded you in deference to your father.
Well, the interesting thing about that is if you grew up around Qualcomm or you were around there a lot, my dad called me Anthony. So I think most people just called me what my dad called me. So it's not something that bothers me. I answer to Anthony as much as I answer to Tony. For me, it was Tony was a comfort thing. All my friends, they all called me Tony. So that was what I went by most of the time, unless I was around my dad and people who have been around my dad.
Now, what's your mama call you when you're mad? She's mad.
Little T, little Tony.
We won't be calling him that because that's reserved for mama.
Exactly.
So how do you feel about this new young pitching staff, and what pitcher do you think is going to come up and really blow out the house down, so to speak?
I got to start with Luis Perdomo. Let this young man develop. I love what I saw last year, and hopefully he'll springboard off of that and have an effective year this year. But some of those young arms, it's hard for me to relate to a guy that's 6'6", 6'7", throwing 97, 98. This left-hander can't relate to that. You find some old guy that's throwing 85, and I might have a chance. But it's a different world with the talent that we have. And you saw a little bit like Diaz. You've been watching him a little bit, the Rule 5 kid throwing 97. And some of these young kids just have unlimited abilities. And it'll be fine mentally to see where they end up. This game is mentally a tough game, and that's what it's going to boil down to. A lot of these kids have the physical ability to pitch in the big leagues, but they do have the mental ability to really stay up here and be disciplined and do the right things.
Everybody loves you in San Diego.
Right, I love it, guys. Always good to see you guys at the ballpark. So, look forward to this year. We'll see what happens.
And go Padres.
Go Padres.
Thank you so much, Randy. Swagger Report in San Diego at Petco Park.
So now this is the Swagger Report that we have here. We're looking at players that are coming up that have a certain amount of confidencia, as they say in Spanish.
Yeah.
You've always had that. We watched you, even when you beat us. So when you played for the
Milwaukee.
It's hard for us to forgive you for that, but it's you got that kind of ball player.
Yeah.
On this team, who do you see? Got swagger.
Manuel Margot. He's got some swag. You just watch the way even just the way he walks up to the home plate. There's nothing scared about him when he steps into the box. Hunter Renfroe, he's got some swag. When you watch him take swings, when you watch him play in the outfield, he's a guy who exudes confidence. And for me, I always enjoy those type of guys. Regardless of what you're actually doing, when you exude that confidence, that's part of the battle.
That's the truth. Margot, Renfroe. How about Jenko? He gets a little dirty.
He does. He's my type of player. He reminds me of myself from the standpoint of he's a grinder. Like, nothing comes easy for him. He's got to work for everything, and he's willing to put the work in for everything. So you want to see those guys like him succeed. I mean, as you want to see all the Padres, but for him, he's got a special place in my heart because he reminds me a lot of myself.
You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Jenko is the mirror image of this man right here.
A little lighter version.
Are there any guys in the infield that you're seeing coming up that might have a little bit of that confidence, that swagger?
I mean, he's not a young guy, but Eric Ibar I've always been a big fan. I mean, him came up playing against each other pretty much every level. And you watch, probably the smallest guy on the field, but if you hadn't seen him playing, you're just listening on the radio, you would think he was the biggest guy in the field. I mean, he just has this confidence. He understands the game of baseball very well. He's one of those guys that has the ability to make the rest of the infielders better because he's on the field with them.
That's a good point. Now, are there any guys out there, just to go back about your father, he coached. We were always wondering if they would bring him up into the big leagues here, but he spent so much time with your alma mater, San Diego State.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself at any point after your career here goes forward, if you're going to be doing any coaching?
I could see it maybe later on down the line. Right now, I want to be around my family as much as possible. This job allows me to be around my family more than baseball extra playing did. So I can see it down the line. Coaching is a big. You gotta commit to a big amount of your time to coaching, and you have a lot of guys that are really under your watch, and you're responsible for them. And right now, I have 4 of my own that I'm responsible for. So I can see myself down the line getting into coaching, definitely.
It does take an entirely different cut of the jib, I would say.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the family, how's everybody doing?
They're doing well. My mom's doing really well. My sister, she just had her second baby, so I'm an uncle 2 times now. And then my family, I have 3 girls, and we had our first boy about a year and a half ago. We call him Trey. He's really Anthony the third. But we're all doing well. We're all healthy.
The Gwynn tradition is live and well here in San Diego.
Yes.
Since we all grew up, that's all we've known, is that your family has been synonymous with this beautiful city right here, the cornerstone of the nation, San Diego. Anthony, thank you. Tony, thank you for your time with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Swagger Report, you got it, 2017. Get some.